So the app has a few more features. Let's see if I just reload the data. So for example, the meals have items and a name and a CNAME. Let's say if we wanted to add an extra property to this. So there are two places you have to edit because the TypeScript model is defined here, the TypeScript interface is defined here. So let's say if we do like vegetarian as a boolean, and then so that's defined it in the interface, but the schema for Mongoose at the moment has to be added separately. So that is a little bit of a pain sometimes, but there are some libraries to help with that. Let's see, boolean required. Let's make it required and see what happens, see what breaks. So now if I bring that up, if I reload the data, we should get some validation errors because vegetarian is required. So let's just go back to our test data for the meals. Items at the top of the test data, a little bit further down we have the meals. Let's just put vegetarian false for the yummy English breakfast. Let's just imagine it's good enough to be vegetarian if it's fish, and chicken feet is not vegetarian. So we have now 3 meals. Reload. Let's see what we get. Oops. Reload the data. Reloaded without problems. Look at the meals, and vegetarian now has its data. So that helps us for looking at the data. Basically, remember those two things. And I will add that. Usually what I do when I'm working on these kind of things is make an issue, give the issue a name, add extra property to schema and interface. Example, adding a vegetarian. I should have chosen something easier to type. Field. Okay, let's just very quick. Number 4. Usually what I would do is get CMS B4, adding props, usually create as a branch, adding props, referencing ticket number 4, put that in, oops, this will be pushed to name branch, and it's there. We would now have another branch, but I'm just going to merge that right back into master just for the sake of argument. So now when I push to master, that will actually trigger a new build. If I go back here on the docs and I look at, oops, the build is failing. Just see, test. So I can run the test from the command line as well. And let's see who's faster. Travis. So basically that is in Travis, which you can get to from the README page. We're hooked up to Travis CI here. It tells us the status of the build. And yeah, I had a lot of failing builds recently. And so I can go and look into that build. Oops, okay. Oh yeah, because I didn't add the property to all of my tests. So let's just go into CD into the back end, and I can test watch on the back end because it's purely a server-side issue. Let's see the tests for meal, and in here What should we do? Just add meal.vegetarian equals false for our test data, and see what else we need. I could make vegetarian actually an optional property if I'd wanted to do that in the, make it required false here, and then in the types we could make it just have a question mark to be optional. But yeah, this is one of the problems in that the types are not getting properly picked up because of the way the Mongo schema kind of hides some of the properties, so that's why we need tests, and that maybe is something that I'll look into later. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Async callbacks, it looks like we're timing out on those callbacks. Okay, path vegetarian is required in schema type. And it doesn't actually give me a lot of help where that is failing. So let's see if we have a object containing meal. Okay, so that is sending, and that needs to also send the vegetarian option. Would be nicer to have a test object, but should give us the basics. Let's see how many tests are failing now. 2 out of 3. Well, looks like they actually all passed. I can look at F to only run failed tests. Nothing's changed. So anyway, it looks like that test is now passing simply because of that, which should probably be brought out into a mock meal. Let me send that to that. Just like const mock meal equals that. Now if I save, it's going to format new. Okay, let's, I guess it doesn't know how to auto format TS at the moment. Okay, meal is down here. Should just send it. Interesting. It's not triggering the test again. Let me go and just open that file, meal model, and save that. That should trigger the test, but it didn't quite do what I wanted. Maybe it's smart enough to know nothing's really changed. Well, there we go. Running it with tests. So that is just running the tests on the back end at the moment. I could just run it once on the client, just rather than while that's testing. I'm going to just go to another window and fix tests. Ref, that was ticket number 5, right? I think. And number 4. So ref issue 4. There are many commits that are fixed tests. Writing tests is twice as much code as not writing tests. But hopefully the code works if you do that. Okay, so now we have, let's go down here, checking on the builds. We'll see fixed tests as a commit here. Just look at what happened on number 20 while that's still running. And the complaints on number 20 were, interesting. That isn't different because it looks like I added something without adding it to handler lowercase. Package.json. I thought it added it, so let's just try it the other way. API-C. This is in the server backend. Package.json, yes, right place. Doesn't have an error handler package in there for some reason. And npm is not caching modules, so it's an awful lot slower to install things. But let's see what's going on with the latest build, shall we? 21 is still chugging away. Let's see if it's hitting the same problem. No, looks like it didn't hit the same problems. Very strange. Okay. Still running the install. Let's see what's happening here. It's linting both of them, which is fine. It's now starting the test on Travis on the back end. I still can't find that error handler, so I'll just have to wait and put it in. Yeah, no, this is slow. This is where I should edit the video. Wait for this thing to install. Probably be even slower for my friends in China. So let's just plot away a little bit here. Looking at testing these asynchronous components. Well, this takes a while. Let's see what else is there in the app that's worth looking at while this is chugging away. Not sure if I can safely. That's interesting. Stop that. Okay, looks like it. Looks like it basically. Oops, didn't like that. Fix. Is that just a network error? Not sure what that is, but something doesn't like it. Anyway, let's see if there's a diff. No, there's no diff, so error handler didn't get added. Oh, there it is. Handler, okay. Well, I need to do some kind of a event to trigger a new build. Error to the package lock at least, but it should have been added before. Let's see. I'm going to leave this now to build with Travis, and that is going to take a while, so I will stop the video here.